S&D or if Zero's carrying us. Like, I can't tell, because remember, this team hasn't played together long. They're still kind of figuring things out. He's been that good that Jerd had a bit of a question mark.
And the European players, they say Search and Destroy is not a game mode. We practice against each other. We don't have a whole lot of S&D tournaments to really get that preparation before an event. But it seems Zero has brought new life to this Splyce squad in the Search and Destroys. I talked to the guy, I asked him, if you weren't a pro player right now, what would you be doing? He said, well, I'm not that smart. I'd probably be a binman, which is a garbage man. I disagree. His in-game IQ is ridiculous, especially in Search.
He'd be a model. Have you seen that smile on Zero? It's like a dream. He takes my breath away, Chris.
The next cover girl. Here we go, Maven. S&D loading up right now. It is time to go into our second game here in the best of 5. And if game 1 is going to tell the story, I have a feeling this one's going the distance.
Yeah, so remember, Hardpoint, it was something like a 70% win rate for Optic, 50% for Splyce, but it's these two next game modes that are the interesting one. 100% win in S&D for Optic, 100% for Splyce. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get into Search and Destroy. Dallas, make some noise.
Oh, you guys can do better than that. Come on, Dallas, let's make some noise. It is time for game number 2. We got Splyce on your screen first. It's gonna be Zero, your bomb carrier. And once again, we're gonna see the attack down low on your mini-map for the majority of this game. Splyce is gonna get the immediate plant, but Optic, they're looking for a first pick, and it's probably gonna come on a flank.
And that's part of the reason he's been able to get camo early as well. He gets a lot of plants to go with the kills he gets post-plant. Is what has added together to be just some absurd numbers. 4-0. But right now, it's going to be a 3v2 advantage for Splyce. Krim trying to wrap back towards Bridge. He's got one above him here. That's going to be actually Jerd in the corner. This is all going to be timing. Jerd's going to find him. It's now on Formal in the 1v3, and since bomb was planted so quickly, he's got 20 seconds left in basically an impossible situation as he drops.
Has to check 1,000 angles. Jerd only has to look at one. The fist bumps come in, and it is Splyce on the board first with a successful attack.
And again, this is by far their toughest test in Search. When talking to Envy, I was talking to John a little bit, and he said their Search is off. So if you thought maybe that was going to be their hardest test, certainly in pools, they haven't been playing well in Search. Splyce has been amazing. Optic, their first true test. Let's see how they answer now on offense.
And it looks like we're going to see the bomb in the hands of player number 7. That's going to be Karma, as usual. The attack's going down here at B, and the opening kill goes in favor of Karma. Zero is there to trade with Jerd. Jerd picks up the 2-piece. It's all down to Krim.
He gets that grenade off at the last second, which at least finds one, but now Krim yet to find a kill here. He's going to look to clutch up against Jerd and Mad Cat, and the start from Jerd is basically what we were talking about with Zero. Just a hot start, already has his payload to work with. 5-0, it's 6 stuff.
Second round, payload acquired here for Jerd. But it's not going to be that crucial camo. So we'll see how impactful it is in the early half of this game. Fantastic start for Splyce, bouncing back here in game 2. They strike first.
And it's been great to see, you know, the questions about their communication when losing Josh. How is that going to work out? You know, we thought he was the leader. We thought they were going to lose something, but again, they were frustrated, his way or the highway. The communication now seems to be better. They like playing together. There aren't any issues internally, and God, man, it's been showing fucking.
The highway is clear, Maven. These guys are speeding through the competition. FTL jump is that payload available for Jerd. We'll see when he decides to use that, most likely in the second half of this game. There's going to be just one defender on top of these stairs, but the grenades can do damage from anywhere, and you're going to see Karma lighting things up first. He will be traded out, and Zero is down for Splyce, so a 3-on-3.
And you're so close to getting that Trinity rocket for Jerd. I believe he was just 50 off of it. Krim able to gun Bance. Will swap over to Mad Cat. They're going to be in a 2 versus 3. And this is important because Jerd, yeah, again, these streaks, and he's not in a good spot. He's going to get out. You may even think about using this FTL jump. I was just about to say, think about getting it to the edge because you're so close to streaks. And it's not really a game-changing one. I mean, that's as good a spot as any, I think, to use an FTL jump. Just try to stay alive, find one kill, and pick up streaks.
That's assuming there's no one on the other side of that wall. No way to know that, but I get where you're going with this. Honestly, streaks could be the game changer in this one. But Splyce, they've straight up been winning the gunfights. They're getting into position faster than Optic Gaming. That's finally a big defensive win. and we will see what Optic can do in the second half of this game. They're going to be on the attack. Bomb back in the hands of Karma. Your score 2-1 entering round 4. Optic trying to tie this one up.
Well, Crim's got to get ready. The flank is coming on. They hit quick. He was not prepared for that at all. It was a 3-man push through the flank as soon as Crim turns. He has multiple players in his face, but the call-out obviously ended. Formal wraps back. That should be an easy one for him to pick up. 1 kill goes his way. Another one in the back. Can't snap on. That's Mad Cat trading it. Now Karma by himself. He's 2-3, and he's got 3 players to fight.
Karma basically at this point has to delay the defeat. Or just kill all 3 of them. Gets the first 2 picks, expects the flank, but it's Zero who is sticking it right now. He's been on it for 4 seconds, and he's gonna get them all. What a clutch play here from Splyce. They have faith in the defuse, and even though he lost his protectors, Zero is gonna come up big.
And basically, Karma would have had to, snap, and then directly to bomb. He was worried that they were gonna try to trade the kill. You see that a lot, right?
Oh, yeah.
You play as 3 together, you flock, make sure you trade it. He was heads up thinking about the kill the whole time. They're on the bomb clutch heads up play from Splyce.
You can't bank on a clutch 1v3 from Karma here if you're Optic Gaming. You got to get the early kills, and that is what Splyce is bringing to the table already. Formal and Scump out of the action. Your big threats are gone. Now it's just Karma and Crim 6.
And Jared had questions about the search. 10-2. What an absolute monster, but it's Optic Gaming in another 2 versus 3. Karma and Crim 6 have a lot of work to do and only 30 seconds to work the defuse.
Say that again. Jerd, 10-2. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in round 5. Jerd is playing insane today.
It's been incredible to see him develop over the course of this game. You saw the 2 piece he had to open up this round. And with 15 seconds left, there's nothing he can do. Karma's about to be tagged up from 3 angles. They don't even need to find the kill. Bullets flying in from everywhere. No time to make the play. And as Crim peeks, he falls. It's fist bumps around for Splyce as they now take a 4-1 edge.
I'll tell you what, Maven, Crim 6 has been playing incredible in search throughout this entire weekend, but his numbers are going to take a dive after this game. Splyce just has too much firepower. Here is Crim in the round-ending kill cam getting done by Bance. 4 straight perfect bullets right into Crim's chest once again. We're going into our next round with your score 4-1 in favor of Splyce. They are 2 rounds away from tying up this best-of-5 series.
All right, well, here we go. On with Karma, sitting at 4-4. I mean, honestly, it's a lackluster performance and kills from everyone in the lobby outside of Jerd. When you take a look across it, there's nothing that really stands out, but finally there, Crim able to get a first blood for Optic. It feels like every single round we've been talking about the edge for Splyce.
Jerd is going to get picked. Scump showing up big there with the K-Bar 2-piece. Jerd and Bance have been eliminated. Zero now in a 1v4. This is a round that Optic should have 100% locked up. Zero is not going to give his opponents a chance to get the kill. Instead, goes outside of the map, gives himself up, and forces round 7.
You don't even have time to find everybody there. It's not worth it. Takes the death. And that gives another round here to Optic, but the key is just getting that first blood, at least playing with odds for once. I mean, it's a big map. You can play very spread out. Being down a man can hurt you even more than some other maps, so you have to really focus up here. Splyce now going to be on the attack.
And if you remember back to last night against Luminosity, Optic was in the same exact situation. They clutched up in a game 1. They were down 4-2, but then battled back to win around 11. Is this where the comeback starts? It's not looking good here in round 7. It's already a 2-on-1. Make it a 2-on-2 as Bance is dropped. So even playing field, and now come the streaks for Splyce now.
I get what you're saying, but Splyce isn't Luminosity when it comes to search and destroy. Yes, a comeback is possible, but it is not going to be an easy road. We'll see if they have what it takes. It's going to be Formal now in a 1 versus 2. 45 seconds on the clock. Long range fight. Needs 1 more bullet to the toe of Mad Cat, and this becomes much more interesting. But now, still a ton of work to do.
Formal was 1 bullet away from death himself, though, so he's forced to back down. Bomb still not planted. 30 seconds remain. And it's going to be the pressure on Jerd to either get that bomb down or just hunt down Formal. It looks like they've tagged him up once again. The health is regenerated. The bomb is rotating. How does Formal react?
Well, what's getting interesting here is if he can just find the kill somehow onto the planter, you're not going to have enough time here to make a play. But it looks like he's going to play safe for A and now play the defuse. This is going to be so tough. Bomb down. They're in good positions, but he does have the high ground. And you know he can shoot lasers, but it's Mad Cat with a laser of his own, evaporating Formal at top plat, and it's now 5-2.
I mean, we have these yellow outlines. We know where Splyce is set up, but I'll be honest, I'm so impressed with the way that Formal was able to scout out the first player, immediately know where the second one is set up. He was pre-aimed at where Mad Cat was at, but Mad Cat hit every single bullet.
And you can see the angle there. You just see like the head of Mad Cat barely. You see Mad Cat's POV. You have the entire body of Formal to line up. It's not an easy gunfight. Formal, guy that prides himself in taking those advantageous ones, just not in a position to do it there.
Splyce on game point. Will they be able to take it here? It's going to be Scump and Karma with 2 kills, but out comes 0. Only 1 up for Optic Gaming. It's Crim6 going up against Mad Cat and 0.
Well, we highlighted Krim. He's been so good in search. He's 4-5 right now, and to keep their dreams alive in the game 2, has to clutch the 1v2. First things first, going to get bomb in hand, grab a K-bar to work with as well. He's got 55 seconds to work with. You can see on the minimap those 2 yellow arrows hunting together, making sure they're ready to trade the kill.
Krim has no idea where these defenders are, now being tagged up in the back. Has a pretty good idea. He's going to be rotating around. And how does Krim play this? So much time. You can look for an early pick. You can go for a bomb plant, thinking that the defense is just going to play back. And Krim, he's guessed right.
Yeah, it's just so tough because they're going to push and have high ground. Whether they decide to go from scaffolding, from that mid-plat, they're going to have the advantage. But I like what Krim is trying to do here. At least play away from the bomb site, not take that lower ground, try to see if he can get an opening pick with 30 seconds left.
And don't be surprised if we see 0 just going straight for the defuse again. He did it in round 3. He could potentially pull it off once again. Crim6 trying to keep Optic in this.
He just gives himself at least a favorable gunfight. I don't think he actually got spotted. It was a oh, he did. And I thought it was a pre-aim to the corner maybe behind that box is what we saw, but Splyce now, they get it done. That is going to be the first loss for Optic Gaming in Search and Destroy, and it's the European Splyce that gets it done.
Very impressive stuff, especially from Jerd. Round 4, he already was into double digits. He gave Splyce that hot break that they needed coming into this one. We got a tied up series, Maven, and now we're going into an uplink game number 3 where this could go either way.
Yeah, now, you know, yesterday, if you were Optic, you had to deal with the streak ending at 23 games. Now you have to deal a little bit with, hey, we felt invincible in Search and Destroy. We haven't lost it all. It's felt so good. They dropped the Search. And what's tough, though, is you're going into Uplink, which, again, Splyce has not lost. They've been brilliant. We've seen them destroy top North American teams. And another key note here for Splyce, we know, remember what Bance said in his interview yesterday, how they're pretty good at breakout, they're really bad in that particular hardpoint against top North American teams. It's Scorch. You don't have to deal with breakout. So that looks good for Splyce as well.
Excited to see how the rest of this one plays out. For now, let's take a look back at game number 2. By the numbers, your top performer from Splyce, it was Jerd, 12-4, a 3.0 KD. You can see how the rounds played out. Basically, every third round, Optic was able to steal one, but this was all Splyce from the beginning.
Yeah, and on the other side, I mean, so far this series has been the Scump show, right? He goes 7-6 with one of the positive KDs for his team in game 1, the 51 bomb. He's doing it all. But in Search, man, they were outclassed. That wasn't close.
58 kills through 2 games for Scumpy. Keep an eye on that man going into a game number 3. On the opposite side of the stage, though, this has been a very well-rounded squad. Splyce coming in to do work this weekend.
They look beautiful. Can Splyce keep it going, or can Optic Gaming bounce back in game 3? We'll see after this break.